So here's chapter one of We Were Kids Who Found Their Way Through the Cosmos. As high as possible towards the ceiling. He opens the curtains with a swipe on his phone. The sun is already set high in the sky as he looks down at the polished wooden floor, beaming back his reflection like a mirror on the ground. James smiles, grateful to be in a position to wake up every day like a king. The glory of the moment is short lived as he realizes that he is late to watch his nephew. He rushes into the bathroom, washes his face, and brushes his teeth as fast as he can. He takes a moment to inspect his teeth to make sure there's no crust by his eye. He undresses out of his pajamas, puts on a navy blue button up and jeans, and rushes to his car, sneakers in hand. He gets in, ties up the laces on his sneakers, and puts the car in drive. As James drives away from his polished condo in New York City, he looks out sparingly to admire the beautiful scenery of the leaves change. 30 minutes later, James parked his car outside of his childhood home. Getting out of the car, his gaze falls to his next door's neighbor's house. He sees that the bones of the house look a bit warped, indicating an extended period of negligence. The paint that used to be a beautiful Kentucky blue now looks washed out and dull. He smiles as he walks to the front of the house and knocks on the door. He takes in the images of his old neighborhood and reflects on the memories and bittersweet nostalgia that filled his spirit. His younger sister, Jasmine, now 28 years old, opens the door. She gives James a big hug. James lets out a big smile, embraces the hug, and holds her tight, realizing now just how much he missed his sister. Hey, sis, where are mom? Where is mom and dad? James and Jasmine release from the hug as they both walk into the living room of the house. Jasmine and James sits on the couch. She straightens up the couch pillow as she speaks to James. They've been on a permanent vacation since retirement. They're hardly ever home these days. They've been on permanent vacation since retirement. They hardly ever come home these days. James smiles. I thought that was the reason you moved back home, so they could help you, though they do deserve a good vacation. Jasmine laughs. I did too, but hey, it helps me live here rent free, so I'm not complaining. I'm actually thinking of buying the house next door. James gets up from the couch and looks up at the house next door again. Wait, Miss Sampson is moving? He says, no, Miss Sampson died. Didn't Malika tell you? Jasmine becomes visibly sad to be the bearer of this news as frown lines permeate her forehead. James looks at his sister and shakes his head. He takes a deep breath as the memories of his childhood vanish right before his eyes with the thought of Malika selling the home. James, you know we haven't spoken in years. You still butthurt that she didn't end up with you? No, I'm happy for her. I'm sure she has a good life. She was always determined. She would have figured life out, just as I have. Is that so? Jasmine remarks sarcastically. Yes, I suggest looking for another home. James responds, ignoring his sister's comment. The house from the outside looks like no one has cared for it in a long time. I can only imagine the issues inside the house. There are probably several issues within the bathroom. I guarantee there's at least some water damage there. Mold, he continues. We must double check. Confirm if there's a heating and cooling system inside. How old is the tank for when you need to put oil in the house? These are just a few things that you should want to look out for. While I appreciate all your insight and concerns, the reasons you pointed out are exactly why I'm choosing this house. I need something cheap, and I can always fix it up with my big brother. Besides, mom and dad are right next door, so I'll have plenty of support raising Adam. You, dad, and I can fix the home one day at a time. Well, it looks like you've thought this through and don't need my help. I would advise you Not to buy that house, but do as you wish. Well, I guess I should get out of here, huh? Thanks again for babysitting. James smiles, gets up, and hugs Jasmine. He's my nephew. It's no trouble at all. We're going to have a blast. Great. That means you don't need any money for him, right? Jasmine smiles. She grabs all her belongings for her trip away with her friends. She opens her suitcase and looks at all the items that she wants to pack. The first items are her essentials. She packed a toothbrush, deodorant, underwear, and panties. After the essentials, Jasmine walks over to her closet and looks for a nice outfit for the night and possibly for tomorrow morning. She picks out a nice royal blue pencil skirt along with a black blouse. She packs a pair of sweats. She packs a pair of sweats for the ride home, along with a simple white t-shirt for the morning. She packs a pair of shoes for the evening and keeps her always handy Converse shoes as her everyday wear. All packed up, Jasmine goes through a mental checklist to make sure she has everything covered. Once confirmed, she zips up her suitcase and brings it out to the front of the house where James is standing, just looking around. Jasmine receives a text from her friend telling her she'll be outside in a few minutes. She turns to James. Okay, thanks for watching, Adam. I'll be back tomorrow. James' face begins to fill up with confusion. He was expecting this to be a day trip and almost loses his mind. He takes a few steps away from Jasmine, flabbergasted, and begins to look around nervously. What's wrong? Jasmine asks calmly, noticing the reaction that her brother is having. James looks at his sister if she has a screw loose. What do you mean, what's wrong? You know exactly what's wrong. No, I don't. That's why I'm asking you what's wrong. I would like to know so I can understand what the true issue is. When you asked me to watch Adam, you didn't say that it was an overnight trip. If you did, to be honest, I probably would have said no. I didn't bring any spare clothes, James. James begins to lose his cool. Foam almost comes out of his mouth as if he just took a cyanide pill. He feels tricked and is irritated with the lack of information that was given to him. But you love me and were kind enough to say yes. I'm very grateful for that. Besides, you can rush home tomorrow, shower, and start your day like nothing ever happened. Also, you're so successful. Why don't you just pull out one of those credit cards and swipe yourself some clothes? I have a business to run. You can't just spring these things up on me. You're the boss. Run it from your phone. James, completely speechless at this point, manages a fake smile, walks over to the door and opens it. I thought so too, at first. Jasmine begins to clarify, but plans change. I thought we were going to the casino in Queens, but apparently it's going to be in Atlantic City. I knew you were up to no good. Have fun, James responds. Jasmine walks to her room and double checks to make sure that she didn't miss anything. Living back with her parents makes her feel strange, like she's a kid again. She closes her eyes and remembers her room when she was little. The room used to be a dull pink with an eggshell color roof. The shelves that used to have all of her stuffed teddy bears now hold all clothes that don't fit in the closet. Jasmine walks back out of the living rooms. Seriously, I appreciate this. You've you've no idea how much I needed this. Adam, come here and say hi to your uncle. I'm leaving. Adam, 10 years old, is now in James' childhood bedroom. He lays flat on his stomach, head held upright by the palms of his hand, and watches early Saturday cartoons. He's enthralled by the cartoon character's spacious bedroom. Adam, 10-year old. It's okay, bro. We'll get through it. Adam, 10 years old, is now in James' childhood bedroom. He lays flat on his stomach, head held upright by the palms of his hand, and watches early Saturday cartoons. He's enthralled by the cartoon character's spacious bedroom. It's so much bigger than what he has and imagines what his life would be like if his bedroom was that big and how he could have a bigger bed and a greater television set. His daydream is interrupted by his mother's call. Judging by the distance, he concludes that she is by the door and ready to leave. James walks out of his room and smiles when he sees his cool uncle. Adam gives his mom a huge hug and tells her to have a good time. Jasmine looks her son in the eyes and gives Adam a doting kiss. Be good now, she says. Jasmine holds her son's chin and pinches his cheeks. Adam playfully pushes his mom out of the house, anxious to hang out with his uncle. Hey, Uncle James. James sees that his nephew still has crust in his eye. Hey, have you eaten yet? Not yet. Mom said you were a better cook than her and that I should wait for you. Usually I would take pride in being better than your mother, but not at a time like this. Let's see what we got. James walks into the kitchen, opens the fridge, and sees that it's almost bare. He looks around and takes out eggs, cheese, and bacon. Eggs and bacon? Huh. Is that okay with you? He asks. Adam nods his head in excitement. James grabs a pot and a bowl and begins to beat the eggs and sprinkle a bit of cheese. Adam enters the kitchen and stays a little bit behind him as he places the egg in the buttery pan. James sees Adam, observing him. Do you want to help? Adam treads Adam treads away lightly and sits back down in the living room. I'll just wait over here. It's okay, he responds. James continues to watch over the eggs that he just scrambled as the bacon that is now in the pot begins to smell up the entire house. Mom tell you that she's thinking about buying that house next door? Adam shouts from the other room. James hears the question and pauses. The breakfast is cooked. He places the two dishes and walks them over to Adam. James takes a seat and answers the initial question. Yeah, she told me this morning. Is the house even worth anything? It looks a little outdated, Adam replies. Well, the owner never really had any help. She lived with her daughter. The foundation of the home is solid, though. Is it true that your girlfriend lives in the house? Who told you that? I'm just telling you what my mom said to me. I just want to make sure she's telling me the truth. That's all. James gets up and grabs two glasses and a carton of orange juice from the fridge. He walks back to the dining room and sits back down next to Adam. As their meal is almost done, Adam breaks the silence. His works cuts through the metronomic sound of the two boys chowing down. Adam's curiosity about the home next door and his uncle's love interest is clear for James to see. So what happened? How did she become your girlfriend? It's not a very cool story. It's pretty whack and not worth any of our time. You want to play video games or something instead? James tries to appear cool. His childhood crush still makes him feel uncomfortable, especially since it ends with him having a big house. He is still single and alone. No, you don't want to know the story. I'm telling you, it's going to make you tired and sleepy, even though you just woke up. Trust me, James responds. Uncle James, it's just us. I really want to know. Your mom talks too much. You know more than you should know, especially at your age. You know that? I've been told that. My mom says it means that I'm inquisitive. Do you even know what that word means, inquisitive? Adam chuckles, dropping his voice in an attempt to sound more mature than he is. Well, of course I do, Uncle James. What is it then? When someone is like me, curious of one's nature. An easier word that is more universal is nosy. Look, Uncle James, every good story has a love interest. Even in my video games, I'm supposed to save a queen or a princess in about 50% of the stories. Do I wish there were different objectives? Sometimes, sure. But a lot of the stories deal with the same objectives. I can't really complain. So I just listen to the story and play the game. Besides, this happened like what, 40 years ago? It should not be a problem now to express yourself. James looks at Adam with his eyes squinted as if he wants to strangle him. Almost. Age has nothing to do with it. I'm just not there yet, and it's not a big deal. First and First and foremost, age has nothing to do with it. I'm just not there yet, and it's not that big of a deal. So if you want to laugh at my pain, go ahead. Adam interlocks his finger, begging now. Come on, Uncle James. Tell me how you met her. Would you rather I hang with you or play video games all day and let my inquisitive mind go to mush? James smiles at Adam. You too smart for your own good. Well, if you want to know, I met her when I was 11. Well, that concludes chapter one. We were kids who found our way through the cosmos.